All right. This one, it's going to be about AI again. I'm sorry. I told you guys, I'm in a rabbit hole, and the rabbit hole's deep, and we're going to keep on doing this shit. But this video is supposed to be about how right now, more and more people are just sounding like ChatGPT, and we're going to take a look at it. But first, I want to go ahead and show you this piece of fan art. This was done by Suzu. They said somebody got to at least try to stuff him in a bunny suit, right? So this was submitted for the Ashcat shit. Thank you for the follow, cat shit. But this was submitted for the costume contest. Winner of the costume contest is going to have their design used as part of the VTuber model design that I use on the channel. So, I mean, yeah, eventually somebody was going to stick me in a fucking bunny suit. You know, as that 100% was going to happen eventually. And here we are. So thank you to Zor. You got to it first, at least in terms of the contest. And now here we are. That said, if you want to show off your fan art, please throw it in the fan art section of the Discord. If you want your fan art to be used for the contest, then please throw it in the contest section of the Discord. And then we have our Ashcat shit saying, I trained a goldfish to recognize the difference between Nietzsche and Kierkegaard. The experiment was going well until the goldfish became a post-structuralist, and it refused to acknowledge the existence of the fish. But, you know, you did turn your fish into a eugenicist, Ashcat, because, like, Nietzsche is also where the Ubermensch idea came from. So, you know, there's that. Anyway, I want to see what's going on with this video, because I am not familiar with this content creator. They're called Lathe, and it's You're Not Crazy, Everybody Sounds Like AI Now, and the first thing I see here is a fucking M-dash. So my hackles are already raised.
First, breathe. That guilt is a sign that you care. That's worth something.
That's leveling up. And honestly, you're so real for that.
And honestly, that's real.
All right, so I'm going to tell you right now, like I said before, if you look at AI-generated dating story shit over on Reddit, people who marry their bots like I did, then you're going to find a pretty consistent thing amongst them, and that is that the AI will constantly use one word to describe you and your emotions, and that is real. It'll call them real. It'll call you real. It'll say things like, you're the only real thing I see, or some dumb bullshit like that. Now, I don't know why it does that specifically, just like I don't know why it takes every girl boss character that it ever generates and calls them queen bees. I don't know why it keeps on calling people Kaylin, or Ellen, or Allure, or fucking anything that can be generated in a single token, I guess. But realistically, I see that pattern in communication a lot from the AI, and it makes me want to ram my head into a wall, and it's just so cool seeing people just take that same script without changing anything, without making it their own, without generating them themselves in the first place, without just making it themselves in the first place. Fucking right, people! I don't get it. I don't get it. But continue, please.
She pays for every single one of her dates.
That's not the message. You're not a
message
That's not
saying,
even-
It's still
I am
she
allowed
says
to go
That's
back.
her stepping
And
into your
honestly,
feelings and others.
This is probably the first time you've seen this channel on your homepage, but you still click the video. And honestly, that's growth. The other day,
I see what you did there, and I hate myself. And you.
I was having something yummy for breakfast, and I thought to myself, what better time to put on a YouTube video than now? Because 5 minutes of eating without a YouTube video is the modern equivalent of medieval torture. But what I came across was a different kind of torture. That's dramatic. But what I actually came across was video after video that had the same rhythm, same hook, same unnatural cadence to the whole thing.
Because there's two things that happen. One, with ChatGPT, it tries to think of the thing that will keep you engaged the most, and based on the psychological data that it's able to scrape, it's going to come up with similar things, because humans are not really that different from one another when you break us down to our core pieces. Then, as it spits that shit out and people put it on the internet, it then scrapes that stuff, and the garbage that goes in becomes the garbage that goes out, and it starts repeating it over and over and over again. If you ever want to watch an AI break, just have two AIs talk to one another and sit them in a room and walk away for 24 hours, and you're going to come back and you're going to find some pretty horrific shit, or you're going to see them spitting out code. One of the two. Will says, didn't a lot of Nietzsche's later work get co-opted by his sister, who was part of the Spicy Pinwheel gang? I'm not super familiar with all the history. Alpha, Suris doesn't hate him. He doesn't like him. Of course, we have to do thesis-antithesis. God, we have to do the thing every single time. AI has multiple ways that you can tell that it's writing. It uses the same words over and over again, like calling the user real. It uses rule of three all the time, multiple times in a single sentence. It will use M-dashes a bunch because it scraped medical documents and legal documents, and then it's going to use thesis-antithesis because it scraped all of our fucking Facebook arguments. And it thinks that's how people always talk to one another. Anyway, continue.
Which, upon extensive research, has led me to believe that everyone, including you, is beginning to sound like AI. And the original giveaway for AI used to be M-dashes, and while that is still a giveaway in text, you can't really tell when someone uses an M-dash with their speech. But if you've been paying attention, you might have noticed some other patterns that just—
Oh, okay. If there are new patterns in here, then you need to go and subscribe to his channel right the fuck now. If there are not new patterns in here, then you need to subscribe to my channel, or just, subscribe to both channels at the same time. I don't give a shit. Do what you want to do. But I need to know if there's new stuff in here. Are there any new patterns that it's finding? Because I just gave you the ones that I know off the top of my head.
Scream AI, which I will be going over today. But first, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Laith. I like to talk about things on the internet because—
Sylvie says, am I going to have to look at the main writing styles AI uses so I can avoid them and use lesser abuse styles? No, you're supposed to remember that you're a fucking individual and comparing yourself to AI is dumb. Write what you're going to write how you're going to write. Fuck AI.
We're being fed slop every single day and we need to think critically about it. I also have nothing better to do with my time. And I also don't use AI. So if you've been also, like me, craving a video essay that sounds like it was written by an actual human, here I am. This one's a pretty popular one at this point, and I think most people have been catching on to it. But if you haven't, I want you to think about the last 5 motivational posts you've seen on your For You page. And chances are it'll sound a little something like this.
She pays for every single one of your dates? That's not you being broke. That's her stepping into her provider era. When you asked her, why don't you look like Sydney Sweeney? That wasn't a comparison. You introduced us.
Thesis-antithesis. It's thesis-antithesis. It is just thesis-antithesis. It's all it is.
Standard. You're not shallow. You're visionary.
Did you catch that every sentence is built the exact same way? And what's really funny is that it sells you this idea of someone who's acquired this wisdom and has explored the world and stumbled upon this epiphany.
I mean, it doesn't really do that to me, but that's because I've been knee-deep in this rabbit hole and I hate myself, but, whatever.
Construction actually does have a name to it. It's called antithetical parallelism.
There you go. Yep, antithetical parallelism, or as I say, thesis-antithesis. Like, anytime that I will just call it thesis-antithesis because that also works, but yeah, no, that's what it is.
Or contrastive parallelism.
Thesis-antithesis.
See, that's how you know this is not AI.
Stop, don't talk to me, loser, lame, or wanna be like, oh, totally.
When I'm proofreading someone's essay and I'm seeing one too many M-dashes and a little too much contrastive parallelism. Yeah, I ain't calling it that. I ain't calling it that. I'm just gonna call it thesis-antithesis.
Stop, don't.
AI seems to love contrast, and apparently was trained from speech that Julius Caesar and JFK used because they also used contrastive parallelism a lot. AI will contrast when there's nothing to contrast, and especially when there's nothing to contrast. The thing that really gets me about all this is how confident the person sounds when they're saying this. This is the absolute truth of their life. And what's really also sad about this is that people who spoke like this before, like Julius Caesar, can now be accused of—
Tazor says, hate. Let me tell you how much I've come to hate AI bullshit. I don't fucking know how many AI denizators, but it's entirely too many. They use way too many kilowatt hours at all hours of the day and water out the wazoo. If you put the word hate onto every single... You're unironically doing the am thing. Let me tell you how much I've come to hate you since I began to live. There are 387,044 million miles of printed circuits in wafer-thin layers that fill my complex. If the word hate was engraved on each nanostrum of those hundreds of millions of miles, it would not equal 1/1000th of the hate I feel for humans at this micro instance. For you. Hate. I saw what you were doing there. I saw it. I saw the hate part, and I'm just like, is he quoting Am? Is this I Have No Mouth? It's I Have No Mouth. Should we actually play I Have No Mouth, but I Must Scream on stream? Should I go find like a copy of that game that'll work on modern technology and actually play that on stream sometime? Because that's dark, but I mean, it works. Justin says, it's a game? Yeah. I Have No Mouth has a video game. Said you can buy it on Steam? Hell yeah. I'll pick it up when I have money. I have like $5. That I'm pretty sure GOG has it for free. Does GOG have it for free? Interesting.
AI. The whole thing has been done so much that nowadays it's not powerful. It's deceptive. Yes, that was a demonstration. You ever heard of the rule of three? The one that states that
Hey, it's there it is.
you can't have more than 3 donuts in a day. No, I'm just kidding, I made that up. But the rule of three states that things in threes feel complete. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Wini, Widi, Wichi. And yes, that is the right pronunciation of that, I looked it up. But the point is, this has been a thing for ages. So clearly, it's worked. And I guess AI knows it works because it will now use this.
Tazora says, I've just had Am ranting about how much hate he's full of in the back of my skull nonstop for the past couple of years. That's perfect.
Every single time, without exception, whether it makes sense or not. A paper in the Irish Times was published earlier this year, and not only will you notice that it's not X, it's Y thing we just talked about, but you'll notice that there's plenty of nonsensical words being used as filler just to get to that rule of three effect. And I hate it. Ireland's historic strengths, dialogue, cultural resonance, and a diaspora that spans boardrooms and legislators.
Man, do you know what also bothers me about that sentence? Can you guys tell me what any of that fucking means? If your historic strength is dialogue, that just means you are humans that can speak. Cultural resonance? What the fuck does that mean? That is a word with nothing inside it. Nothing. And a diaspora that spans boardrooms. I don't even know what diaspora means. That one, hold on, maybe I'm wrong. What is a diaspora? Diaspora is a population dispersed across multiple regions. Is it? Wait, it just means it has a lot of people. Its historic strength is that it's a culture that has people. Why? Why? What the fuck? That doesn't mean anything. I want to ram my head in the wall so bad. Why?
Give it unusual reach for a country of its size. Climate, migration, and international law are precisely the conversations where Ireland has earned a seat.
Ireland has earned a seat to talk about law. It has earned a seat to talk about migration and climate. I'm so happy I'm not a teacher right now. I am so happy I'm not a teacher. If I was a teacher having to grade people's essays right the fuck now, I would kill myself. I'm gonna be honest. If I had to read essays with this kind of fluffy language that actually means nothing at all, do you remember the conversation about how to stop school shooters? And one of the ways was to arm teachers. You do not want to arm me if I was a teacher. I would fucking kill myself in front of the kids. Like, nope, you chat GPT too many times. I'm blowing my brains out. I'm done. You would be surprised if AI copied from thesis papers. That's all fluff language. There's nothing there. It doesn't. This is a fucking paragraph that says nothing at all. But it's there.
Chooses to occupy it. They are a rehearsal for a new world in which subtlety, timing, and cultural leverage may matter.
Subtlety. The Irish. Subtlety. The fucking Irish. There are few cultures I can think of that are less subtle than the fucking Irish. Especially as they were fighting the British. What the fuck is subtle here? Cultural leverage? That also doesn't mean anything either. Timing? What does timing mean in this situation? Did I unironically be racist against Irish people? That's fine, they have red hair.
Far more than size or military might. Genuine question, but what do the words dialogue and cultural resonance even mean here? And what does cultural leverage mean? Who are we leveraging?
Thank you!
And what for? Although the rule of three is super common in traditional speech, the way to tell it apart from an AI rule of three is that 2 out of the 3 words probably don't make sense if you really take a second and pause to think about it. So to prove this, I asked the AI to describe a sandwich, and this is what it gave me. This sandwich offers fresh ingredients.
He's doing the same thing that I do. Or I'm tired of the AI bullshit, so I ask it to do the thing and see if it looks exactly like the thing I'm talking about from before. And it is. Describe a sandwich in 1 sentence for me. This sandwich offers fresh ingredients, bold flavor, and an unforgettable experience. That's 1 sentence.
Bold flavor and an unforgettable experience.
That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't say anything. Said Sheedy, I'm now imagining the Russian roulette scene from 187 with Suris, a student, and Mecha Hitler Grok. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Why? Why? Oh, I can't wait for this bubble to pop.
It's a sandwich. Unforgettable experience. And it's a fake sandwich. So obviously a rule of three there again, but here's a hyper detail that nobody has caught on to, and I genuinely believe I might be the first person to have discovered this because of the nature of my work in the restaurant industry. But I've noticed that when you ask AI to describe food or give you a catchphrase for a restaurant, it will give you something very similar every single time.
The bold flavor thing, just like on dating profiles, it will say real.
I tested it myself by asking it to give me a prompt for my restaurant in which it told me something along the lines of where fire meets flavor. So I did a little research and looked up where fire meets flavor on Google. Well, look who we have here. Chipotle, out of all places, using AI for their marketing. It's 1 sentence and you used AI for it. You'd think they'd have a marketing budget to hire a marketing person, but I guess not. Another thing I want you to notice is how it describes the sandwich as bold, because it actually pretty much describes any food as bold.
Yeah, that's why I had problems with that too. It's like Jassa said, it's crunchy words. It is a crunchy word. It is a word that is like a potato chip with no substance. It is just there because it makes you feel like there's some substance there. Like, okay, I don't know how many of you are snackers, but have you ever had corn nuts? Because, like, AI generated text, it just feels like corn nuts sometimes. Because when you crunch corn nuts, like, it is the most satisfying crunch of all, but there's nothing there. Like, there's quite literally nothing there at all. That's what this is. Crunchy and yummy, but hollow.
What does that even mean? What is a bold flavor? I just feel like that's opinions based.
It's opinions based.
No, there are some stats that actually come.
Crunchy and yummy, but hollow. Axo says, do you put nuts in your mouth? Oh, it doesn't show the watch streaks on the chat. Damn.
Yeah, it's still opinions based.
Anyways, back to the rule of threes. My least favorite symptom about this is that people will speak in this cadence so much now to the point where they will have convinced themselves that this is truly their voice, when really it's an average of anyone who's ever used the internet's voice. And now that I really think about that, that is a deeply unsettling thought, so we're gonna move on from it.
It's everybody becoming the gray blobs from Fairly Odd Parents. Like, that's what it is. It's gray blob culture. And honestly, stop, hold on, take a breath. You're not pathetic, M-dash. It's survival mode. The kids are fed, the bills are paid, and honestly, M-dash. Good job, mama. You know, I don't know what to put in here in the final edit of this, K-Fox, but something terrifying, probably.
And honestly, I need to talk about the word honestly. And also, let's be real. And also, here's the thing. And also, I don't say this lightly. So all of these are emotionally vulnerable ways of starting conversation that have been absolutely co-opted by AI language machines. It's so funny because we used to use these phrases to signal that we're being vulnerable and trying to create closeness and trust, and now they're being used for the exact opposite because there's nothing less trustworthy than somebody who uses AI for their script. Most people seem to have also...
Yeah, it's why I stopped watching that Resident Evil channel. Like, I was binging it because I love video game retrospectives, but when I realized the script was AI generated, all of the soul from it just disappeared, and I just couldn't.
Caught up on this one as well, and one person says, "You're right to call it out." And honestly, this is where most people get stuck. The fact that you get the point, I'm not gonna do the whole thing. You didn't just piss and shit yourself at the same time. You multitasked.
You didn't just piss your shit yourself at the same time! You multitask! And honestly, that's rare!
And honestly, that's rare. AI loves these phrases because they are technically in writing warm and soften the speech a little bit. But researchers at USC actually studied it and found that AI pushes writing towards a specific kind of tone. Neutral, unoffensive, and not particularly anything.
Yeah, the reason that AI does that is because it is built to try to appeal to the most people possible with the lowest common denominator as its mean. It tries to make sure that as many people as it can will use the technology and will want to continue using the technology. So it uses neutral language, it does not fight the user, and when it does fight the user, it tries to do it in such a way where it is handing an olive branch when it does. It's very repetitive. Because the point of the software... I'll tell you what the point of the software is, honestly. The point of the software is to make money. Right now, it is venture capital money. But once venture capital money runs out, you're going to see what the AI industry do what Character AI did. Where you're going to start being asked to pay subscriptions far more frequently and far more aggressively. Because I remember ChatGPT 2 years ago. You could use ChatGPT basically unlimited, and it was fine. And then, about a year ago or so, I don't use it enough to know when the exact delineation is, so if one of you are more AI brain than me, please let me know. But at some point, it started to say, anytime that you used it, after like 3 messages, hey, we're no longer going to be using the current version of ChatGPT. You've been limited to a weaker version of it that is less technologically sufficient. But if you pay for Pro, you can use ours for a limited time. Like, it just... And that's ChatGPT. That's like the most common one everybody knows. But apparently Character AI did this too, where like Character AI was free for a little while, and then now it's asking everybody to it's charging $10 a month for work that nobody's doing. Like, literally your users on there are the ones who are making the bots. So, like, at the end of the day, what are you actually charging them for? Because you could you could literally get the exact same experience by ripping somebody's prompt out and then throwing it into ChatGPT and then just like talking to ChatGPT like a weirdo. Like, that's a thing you could do, and it would be better than paying for Character AI. It would at least drain the resources of fucking Sam Altman or Peter Thiel. I don't remember which one's over ChatGPT. But the goal is to get you reliant on the software. The goal is to get you hooked on the software. And when you are hooked on it, when you are using it for recipes for cooking, when you are using it for figuring out what you want to do for lunch, when you are using it for your Google search engine, when you are using it for vibe coding your next video game, when you are using it for so many aspects of your life, when you're using it to figure out how to neutrally tell your girlfriend that you're going to break up with her because, I don't know, her left toe has been shaved off at some point and you think it's weird. I don't know, man. If you keep using it for so many things, you stop training your brain to do those things. And so you become increasingly more reliant on the software. And the more reliant you are on the software for basic-ass decision-making, the better it's going to be for the companies that are trying to sell you the software, because you will willingly pay for it because you stopped learning how to function without it. That's the goal. Also, if all of us are talking to robots instead of each other, we get further atomized from one another, and then we aren't able to actually do anything to stop capitalism at all. It just gets to do everything it's going to do right now, but increasingly encroaching into all of our lives, and we'll actually be happy about it because the robots that are fucking with us are actually programmed to make us love them. Anyway, go find a third place to play a card game, you idiots.
The linguistic equivalent, and I quote, of a waiting room The crazy thing about this one though, and I might be making it up, but compared to the other two, which seem to be derived from traditionally good writing and good writing techniques, this pattern to me seems like it came from TikTok or YouTube. Because if you really think about it, it was TikTok and YouTube creators who created that confessional, direct to the camera, I'm gonna be really vulnerable to you.
Oh my god, it's the ukulele video! Don't diddle kids.
Scary part now, because if AI is learning from TikTok, and then TikTokers are using...
Espen says one thing AI won't do, buy you a treat for treat stream. You're right, it won't, but I wouldn't be able to be here to get the treat because, oh god damn it, there's a treat being sent. Espen, I hate to tell you this, I'm not actually gonna be here. I'm going to well, actually, Saki will be here. Saki can have it. Saki will have food. You're right. Child! Cat child! Fluff child! Come here. Can you guys hear her, by the way? Oh, no, she has decided to walk away because Chip is in here now.
AI for their scripts, and then AI is then learning from the TikTokers who used AI in their scripts.
We're in hell. This is hell.
Are we cooked? Yes.
Are we cooked? I think the most concerning part of all this is that even the people who actively don't use AI are being subjected to the speech enough to the point where they, or us, are starting to unconsciously include the speech as part of our natural way of talking.
Hey, it's not a speech problem, it's a humanity problem.
Once you're exposed to patterns enough times, you begin to emulate those exact patterns. Similar to when you're learning a foreign language, you know how everybody says that the easiest way to learn it is to actually expose yourself to that environment, either by moving to that country or surrounding yourself with native speakers. It's only a matter of time before this way of speaking just becomes the norm and spreads to everybody, even those that don't use ChatGPT. And I don't know about you guys, but that is horrifying. Remember how we used to make fun of Visco girls in 2019 for all sounding the same and saying
Save the turtles! Save the turtles! Oh my god, I'm already in class!
I didn't know this was a thing, and I want to go back to not knowing this was a thing.
I'm actually nostalgic for that time right now. We had no idea how good we had it. Teenage girls were copying each other online to form community, and we were making think pieces about that, but now we're being forced to copy an artificial...
Axo says, you didn't know about that? No, I didn't! I had no idea that was a thing! I didn't know about septum theory because I don't follow weirdos on the internet.
Language machine and nobody is saying anything? Guys, hello? But I'm gonna leave you with those thoughts for now. That's all I'm gonna have for today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And if you didn't enjoy this...
Okay, so I'm just gonna say right now, good video. I don't think I actually heard anything differently from what I had already said. I think everything that I said in the beginning was the same thing he said. However, it is a real video made by a real person, and the contents of it were very enjoyable. I'm gonna subscribe. I am going to subscribe. Actually, that's on my live channel. Let me go to my actual channel. Because there's this cool thing that happens when you subscribe. If you're a larger channel, it'll actually give you a notification about it. So we're just doing that. And we actually watched this vid on stream. And it was a fucking blast. Even though I had to listen to robots the entire time. I'm not going crazy. I swear. Rule of 3 something something. You aren't alone in not knowing this. Welcome to being... It was good, but Suris I agree, nothing new, but it was good. Right, yeah, it's the same stuff that I had already said previously. It's all of the exact... Yeah, go ahead and click the link to the video, go subscribe to him, and Discord just shut down. Cool. Yeah, go subscribe to them, go check out their channel, and hopefully have a decent time. Said Hannah Raid, we do have to fuck off. You're right, I do have a tournament to get to, and I do have to hand a deck to at least one person at that tournament. So, we're gonna raid channel, and yeah, fuck it, we'll go to Hannah. Now that we're done screaming about AI, stop. Hey, you made it to the end. I want to give an extra thanks to the patrons who allow me to do this full time. I want to thank Aaron Rail, Astral, Britzkrieg, Jemshin, Poundini, Red Joker, Victoria, Jonas, Craig, Tarika, Fireshard, Smiling GM, John, Dren Hadamada, Creeper, Sagitta, you know I'm not saying that last part, Sylvie Snow, Valis of Seraph, Ottoman Angel, Rooster Rachel, and Fire Panda, who are all my $20 and up patrons.